Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. Over 200 videos I made, over 200 times Carl, my human host, has lent me his body for this task. And for several hours a day to do other things as well. I want to thank him here publicly for his sacrifice, because a sacrifice it is to go into a deep trance, dissolve himself in nothingness, and let me basically take over his mind to speak to you. Carl is a man who has, over the years, done a lot of good himself for many people. He has been the director of a lunacy asylum, and through his very special techniques, psychological techniques, he was capable of helping many mentally ill people. The methods he used as a psychotherapist have been not the methods which are commonly practiced by his colleagues. Carl used his unique and very special techniques. Techniques which probably most of you never heard of. I am aware that many of you who are listening now to my voice have had challenges with their mental health, have had suffered under drug abuse, others under depressions, others are bipolar, as they call it today. It's also known in older days as manic depressive. Hallucinations, paranoia, and so on, is known to many of you who are listening now. And also, still many of you taking medication, different prescription drugs, psychopharmaca, or even drugs which are illegal. All of these people, all of you, came to this channel because you were drawn to it, because you felt deep inside that there is somebody who might give you some comfort in your sometimes very miserable and hopeless situation. Carl, the master of lunacy, which he was for many years, in the mental institution I just spoke of. Lend me some of his techniques to deal with the mental psychic of humankind, which I have not been aware of before. So the learning was not only on Carl's side as a human from a tall white alien, but no, me. I am a tall white alien and learned from Carl as well how to deal with the human race. Carl was a very special therapist. He used techniques which are not used by anybody else. I may give you an example. If a patient came for an interview into his office, that what Carl was telling me a while back, he would listen to them and ask them in between, how do you feel? Tell me about what is going on in your mind right now. And the patient would be sitting there looking at Carl and say, I'm sad. I have depressions. Everything is dark around me. I have no hope. I don't want to get up in the morning. I'm just very, very depressed. How would a regular psychiatrist act? Well, you know, probably. But Carl not. He would tell the people, this patient, depression, my good friend, is not necessarily the end, but it is the beginning of the end. The patient must be shocked when he hears this out of the mouth of a doctor. How can he say that? Isn't the doctor there to reach out for him in warmth and understanding? Gives him hope and a helping hand to maybe one day get some ease or even a healing of his mental disease? No, Carl did not do so. Every patient who was institutionalized in his madhouse would be even strengthened in his belief to be inferior, strengthened in his dreadful mood and depression. And if somebody believed, like many of you who are listening now, they have seen angels, they are angels themselves, or have been abducted by the likes of Rudolf. All these people, Carl would smile at and tell him, yes, you are absolutely right. You are the master of the universe. You have been abducted. You are Jesus Christ. You are Napoleon Bonaparte. You are perfectly okay. And if you are depressed, my dear friend, you are depressed. That would be the reaction and the way Carl would treat his patients. What are the results of such a treatment, you would think? Isn't it horrible when you are being committed to a crazy house and there are doctors or a German doctor who tells you that your condition is absolutely clear to him and it's going to be worsen over time. Let me tell you this. Everything has a boiling point. Once water is heated and heated and heated, it starts to boil. And once the water is boiling, it will one day cool down again. And it's the same with the brain which is on fire. If you tell somebody who has depressions, for example, or some delusions of some kind, it is not so bad. It will go away. Just take this pill. Just relax. Just go for a walk. It will be better. And his patient does it. Listen to his doctor. But the situation don't change. The condition is not getting better, but worse. He will lose the trust in the therapist. He will lose the trust in the institution which he is committed into, and that will make him even more sick. He will lose all hope, and the disease will get stronger. But if you tell somebody, yes, you are sick, and your disease will get stronger, then the patient will expect such a change and will find out that there comes a point where things cannot get worse. And that is normally the turning point. When things are being perceived as not getting worse, they immediately start getting better. And that was the unique way of treating Carl's patients. Bringing them to the point where they face their worst nightmares. And once they face the nightmares, he would even make it worse. And eventually, the patients will see that there is an end and a light on the tunnel, in the tunnel. And there they got so much clarity about their condition that all of a sudden, in most cases, the disease just went away. The biggest mistake one can make is to giving people hope where there is no hope, or giving people hope where people experience the opposite. Just understand what a beautiful specialist in the field of lunacy Carl is. And he also has to be a very strong character himself. Otherwise, he would not be able to withstand my constant taking over of his mind, which some, and if there are any of medical professionals in our audience, will maybe even call schizophrenia in him, in Carl. But that is up to our audience to decide, if or not. For my part, I only want to again thank Carl for his time, and I'm very happy that many of you have learned so fast, so much, and also the ones who have mental problems, psychological problems. Many of you are helped already, and many of you will get help in the future. Rudolf of Germany.